Shalom. Yahweh Yahushua Brakatha. Yahweh Shemal Ladon Yahushua. Captain Yatazah. Shalom. Yahweh Yahushua Brakatha. Yahweh Shemal Ladon Bashim Yahushua to the sisters. Captain Yatazah with Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, telling you to come out to the 52nd annual Passover under Commander General YAHANNA. Yeah, man, it's going to be at the ranch, man. Ranch. It's going to be a glorious event. April 24th. Come out, come to Houston, Texas, where we going to serve the Lord the way He's supposed to be served. You understand? We're going to celebrate the destruction of our enemies in a BH ranch, and it's going to be a glorious event. Make sure you come out, man. It's going to be a $200 fee to get in, but let me tell you something. You're going to enjoy yourself. It's going to be the best event you've ever been to in your life. So I'm going to tell you, man, 1414 9 Player Street, come out, man, and enjoy the brotherhood and sisterhood under Christ. With that, shalom.
So much that in our pocket, in our hand, our common destroying this poor, impoverished people.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatha. Yahweh Shema Allah Thug Bashim Yahushua to all the sisters, man. Listen, It's Captain 13,000, the card I'm around, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK, under Commander Jerry Yohana. Not no cowards. Oh, you on that? Listen, man. This year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on. I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander Jerry Yohana, under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another dead explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's going to be in H-Town, baby.
It's going to be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do.
2021 I.S.U.P.K. 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the book, straight up out the base. The word done made me crazy. The word done turned crazy. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord, of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground.
What we got here? Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua. To all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatha Shem Yahshua. To all the sisters, I'm Officer 50 Babaja. Right, this is the I.S.U.P.K. scripture breakdown for Canada, Saturday night, 8 p.m. We back at it. With me, I got Officer 50 Shayawan. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Yes, sir.
Today's topic is Valentine's Day. We're going to be busting down Valentine's Day and teaching our people that it's not true love. Valentine's Day has nothing to do with love. Right? So we got a couple things to go through. Trooper Salakia, Officer Shaywan, can you bring me to Exodus? Hold Exodus 20 for me.
Gonna
Hold Exodus 20 for me. Salakia, I have something open. Just gotta find it. Hold up, bear with me. Gotta find it. Right, we're gonna be going through Valentine's Day, and it's not true love, right? We got a couple things to go through. First, we're gonna be going down like some of the origin of Valentine's Day and where it really comes from, right? And Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Valentine's Day has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your power, your Lord, right? When you celebrate Valentine's Day, all you do is anger him. You provoke him to jealousy. When you celebrate Valentine's Day, he lets those oppressors stay over you. So just like you want to celebrate something that has nothing to do with the Most High. So we're gonna go into it in a second, right? And Valentine's Day, we're gonna go through it and find out that it ultimately doesn't have anything to do with the Most High. And Salakia, let me get the last of these sign-in links in. right? You want to celebrate something that the Most High approves of. Purim and Passover is coming up, right? That's what you should be celebrating. You want to please the Most High. What you need to do is love your brother and sister, right? And that will please the Most High more than giving your wife flowers in a box. Flowers and chocolate in a box. That she's gonna eat the chocolate, those flowers are gonna die, and the next day she's gonna be angry at you for something else. Those flowers is not gonna make her love you. You want to do a nice gesture for your wife, you can give her flowers any every day of the week. Right? When you do it for Valentine's Day, you do it for the Roman gods. Okay, so hold up, we're gonna go into it. Second. I need that share screen for a second. Hold up right quick. So can you see the screen? See the uh, one second. Try to get this properly now. Right. So Valentine's Day, it has Roman pagan origins, right? So we're gonna read about it right here. If you're watching and you can see the screen properly, put a one in the chat. If you can't, just kindly let me know. Right, so it should be a little more clear in the screen. So for Valentine's Day, we got Lupercalia, right? Lupercalia was an ancient pagan festival held each year in Rome on February 15th. Although Valentine's Day shares its name with a martyred Christian saint, right? Some historians believe the holiday is actually an offshoot of Lupercalia. Unlike Valentine's Day, however, Lupercalia was bloody, violent, and sexually charged celebration awash with animal sacrifice, random matchmaking, and coupling in hopes of warding off evil spirits and for fertility. Right? So they were sacrificing animals not to the Most High Yahweh. Right? They were sacrificing animals to who they would call the gods of old. Right? Even though Yahweh is the oldest in he's from the ancient days, right? But our oppressors, they decided to go after their own hearts and their own lusts and worship gods that can't, dumb idols that can't do anything, right? So we're gonna keep reading some more. Ramulus or Ramus, no one knows the exact origin of Lupercalia, but it has been traced as far back as 6th century BC. So this is like 6th century before Christ. According to Roman legend, the ancient king Am- Amulius ordered Romulus and Remus, his twin nephews and the founders of Rome, to be thrown the Tiber River to drown in retribution for their mother's broken vow of celibacy. Right? So some woman, according, this is like their myth, some woman was supposed to be a vow of celibacy and she broke that vow. Now it's not saying like we'd have to do some more stuff. Like you could read it up on your own to find out if that was his sister or supposed to be his wife. But she basically had sex when she wasn't supposed to, right? Or some vow that she made with this kid saying she wouldn't have sex, right? The servant took pity on them, however, and placed them inside a basket on the river instead. The river god carried basket, right? So let's read this again. The river god, Officer Shariwan.
Kana,
Officer Shariwan, you there?
Kana.
Is is there a river god?
La.
Like is right, right. So there is no river god. There's Yahweh, the Most High. Like no, there's no river god, right? So like, let's get back into this reading. 1 second. You have that precept I asked for.
Kana. Um, this is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God.
Right. 1 second. Let me catch up with you.
Kana, sorry.
Okay, read. Baruch Shah.
Kana. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right. So you see it right there. Read that one more time. That last part.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right. So you can worship the river god.
No other gods before me.
So you see it right there that the Most High said no other gods before him, right? So jump down to chapter 23, that same book,
Khan.
right? And just hold that there for a second,
Khan, no sir.
right? So we're gonna go right back into this. Where was that stinking fishy smelling river god? Hold up, that false god that'll only get you wet, right? So the river god, right, that didn't exist, carried the basket down, and the brothers down river. Salaki carried the basket and the brothers down river to a wild fig tree, where it became caught in the branches. The brothers were then rescued and cared for by a she-wolf in a den at the base of Palatine Hill, where Rome was founded. Right? So this is Jungle Book right here.
Right.
This is the story of Jungle Book. That's like the river god and the wolves care for it, right? So these brothers might as well be called Mosley. Like that that just doesn't make sense. A wolf is gonna care for a child, right? Two twin boys, right? So that's what we're reading right now. That Lupercalia has origins with river gods. So again, this has nothing to do with our people, right? So we're gonna 1 second. I need one more thing. Can you bring me to 23 and 2, Baba Kashad?
Khan. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in the cause to incline after many to wrest judgment.
Right. So when you join everybody to go celebrate a river god, right?
Right.
You're joining the multitude to do evil, and as it said, two, 3 chapters down, it said, yeah, "Thou shalt not have any god before me." So you're putting a river god, right? A god that can't do anything. That's not the God that brought the plagues, right? the whole earth is in lockdown right now because of plagues from a real God, a real power, right? The river God did not send the plagues, right? These things that we do, that the people in the world choose to celebrate, they're just idols. They're just idols, and they can't do nothing for you. Right? So we're gonna read some more of this, just to get some more, right? The brothers were then rescued and cared for by a she-wolf in a den at the base of Palatine Hill, where Rome was founded, right? So Rome was founded, right, by the base of Palatine Hill, and they believed in gods that carried these brothers down the river, right? And Rome had many gods, right? They had a god for harvest, they had a god for everything. They had a god for rain. This is the river god. Like they had a god for fertility. These gods went like through every Edomite nation, right? And they're basically the same gods in every Edomite nation, called different gods. They just go by different names. The twins were later adopted by a shepherd and his wife and learned their father's trade. After killing the uncle who ordered their death, they found a cave. They found a cave den where the she-wolf who nurtured them and named it Lupercal. It's thought Lupercalia took place to honor the she-wolf and please the Roman fertility god Lupercus. Right? So it's just a whole bunch of gods and a whole bunch of dumb idols, stupid nonsense that they're just adding together that doesn't make anything, right? So a wolf loved them and they love the wolf, and it's also in honor of their fertility god, right? Let's get some more. Right? So Lupercalia also had ritual sacrifices, right? And you can't make sacrifices unless it's to the Most High, right? And even then, there's no sacrifice right now, right? Because you're not sacrificing for your sins, right? If you trying to sacrifice, stop committing crimes against the Lord, right? You doing sacrifices for sins, which were sacrifices that were permittable before Christ, is basically saying Christ's blood was not enough for you, right? You're spitting in the face of your brother who died for you, right? So we're going to look at these ritual sacrifices that have nothing to do with the Most High. Lupercalia rituals took place in a few places. Lupercal Cave on Palatine Hill and within the Roman open air. Officer Shariwan,
Con.
where in biblical history and in the culture of in Israelite culture, where were sacrifices to be taken place and who was to handle the sacrifices?
Right. They were taking place on temples from the Levitical priests, the sons of Aaron.
Right. So just like Officer Shariwan said, that they were the Levitical priests who were the Levites, the sons of Aaron. They would take care of the sacrifices, and after the temple was built, those sacrifices would be handled in the temple by those same sons of Aaron. Right. So these rituals that took in Salakia, these sacrifices that took place in caves and 1 second. Where else did they say? In Palatine Hill, these sacrifices weren't supposed to happen, right? These sacrifices are sacrifices to false gods, to idols, right? They would happen in Roman open air public meeting place called the Comitium. The festival began at Lupercal Cave with the sacrifice of one or more male goats, right? A representation of sexuality. and a dog, right? So these guys were deviants, right? They were disgusting, vile people. They're sacrificing goats for sexuality and dogs, right? The sacrifices were performed by Luperci, a group of Roman priests, right? So you can't, like, these fake priests, they're committing evil, right? The only priests are the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And the only priests authorized today are the men that you see before you in the ISUPK, right? Afterwards, the foreheads of the of two naked leprosy were smeared with animals' blood using bloody sacri- animals' blood using the bloody sacrificial knife, right? So that's just a whole bunch of nastiness and nothing that's gonna please the Lord. First off, these men are showing their nakedness to whoever's in that room, right? And because we know the homosexual spirit of the oppressors, we know that they're not just walking around naked. Right? They were definitely, because the male goats represent sexuality, and now they're walking around naked, right? Like 1 plus 2 for them is gonna be 110, right? They're gonna be on 110 doing God knows what in there, right?
Right.
The bloody Salakia, the blood was then removed with a piece of milk-soaked wool, and the leprosy laughed. They laughed, right? So they're doing this whole thing and laughing at the same time, right? Uh, Salakia, Officer Shariwan, are you holding anything for me right now?
Law, sir.
Okay, Khan, can you bring me to First Corinthians 12 and 2, Baba Kasha? Hold that for me, Baba Kasha. We're gonna get some more into this in a second. This, like, right now, we're gonna break down all this Valentine's Day nonsense, right? Because you know what happens during Valentine's Day, man. Like our sisters just get tricked out their panties. Like, Salakia for for the boldness of it, but you're getting tricked out of your panties, right? For that one night of pleasure, and in the morning after, right? Tomorrow is supposed to be so-called Valentine's Day. On Monday, you're gonna be freaking out because homie that you let get it, right? You gave him the slide in. He's not going to call you on Monday, right? His other girlfriend, his other wife is not gonna let him call you on Monday, right? If she finds out about you, it's gonna be a problem,
Right.
right? It's just a day for him to get a new. It's like a challenge for him. How many sisters he can get with, right? And sisters, you're letting these men, Salakia, to the brothers, you're sleeping with these sisters and making them your wife, right? And you're basically neglecting your responsibility. Shalom, Trooper Sakat, Yahaba Shem Yashab Rakatha, right? What I asked for? First Corinthians. Let's get that right quick. First Corinthians 12 and 2, Baba Kasha.
Come. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led.
Right. So Valentine's Day is what, Officer Shayuan?
A dumb idol.
Right. The Luperci and the Lupercal and Lupercus are
Dumb idols.
right. So read that one more time from the top.
Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led.
Right? So you're being carried away by these dumb idols. You're going against the Most High by these dumb idols. Celebrating Valentine's Day makes you a Gentile, right? You don't want to be a Gentile no more. The Lord is pleading with you, and He's trying to wake you up. He's trying to show you His wrath, right? And eventually, He's gonna send our King Yahushua 200 million angels, and they're going to take out the Lord's revenge, and you don't want to get caught up with them, right? Like Valentine's Day for people, that's a dumb idol. It's a stronghold, right? It's in our people's hearts, and they don't understand that this has nothing to do with the Most High, right? Trooper Sakaj, you there?
Shalom, Adonai, Yahweh, Shai, Brakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatah, right? Shalom, Trooper Sakaj, water for being here with us. Hold up. Let's get right back into this. Right? Trooper, hold for me Genesis 24 and 67, Baba Kashab.
Khan, one Khan. Sorry, Slakia, 24 and 27?
24, 67, right? So we're gonna get more into this. Right? So remember we said they're gonna go and do the most, right?
Right.
Officer Shari 1. Get me Galatians and 5. Hold that, drop for that right quick for me, Baba Kashab. Right? So we already told you that they're gonna get naked and do the most during their reveling, right? During this pagan ritual, right? And when do our oppressors not do the most? Like, you just got to think about it. They're gonna definitely do the most. Like, you think about our oppressors at a soccer game, right? A soccer match out in the UK, when their team loses, it goes crazy. In Canada, in the US, whenever a hockey team wins or loses, any soccer team, any sports team wins or loses, they destroy everything. Right? And at that point, it's just the good old boys just being boys, right? But when we get angry because one of our brothers was murdered and his neck was kneeled on for 8 minutes and 45 seconds, we're thugs, right? Because we want to riot. But if they riot for a football game, there's just the good old boys being boys, right? So let's see what they did, and you can see it. What they did then is what they're still doing now, right? So they ran naked, nearly naked around Palatine, whipping any woman within striking distance with thongs, right? Many women welcomed the lashes and even bared their skin to receive fertility right. So again, this has nothing to do with the Most High. Like, it basically has nothing to do with the Most High, right? So we're gonna read a little about Saint Valentine, right? So there are several legends, right? So several myths about the origins of Valentine's Day, right? And either way you flip it, it doesn't matter which one of these are true or not. This has nothing to do with the Most High. It's not in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. There are several legends surrounding the life of Saint Valentine, and the most common is that on February 1, the most common is that on 1 February 14th, during the 3rd century AD, a man named Valentine was executed by Roman Emperor Claudius II after being imprisoned for assisting persecuted Christians and secretly marrying Christian couples in love. Right? As the story goes, during Valentine's imprisonment, he tried converting Claudius to Christianity. Claudius became enraged and ordered Valentine to reject his faith or be killed. He refused for his he refused to for his faith. He refused to forsake his faith, so Valentine was beheaded. Right. So this is a another example of a story of possibly how Valentine's Day came about. And again, this has nothing to do with love, right? Which is basically our topic, like nothing to do with love, right? How does a someone getting beheaded have to do with you giving your wife flowers? How did it turn to if you don't bring your wife flowers, you can't sleep in the bed that you paid for? How does it go for if you don't do this all go all out and dinner, feet rub, and spend a whole bunch of money that you can't make love to your wife that you did the previous night, right? Like how does it go from that? Like, so if you don't do all this, you don't love your wife. But it says here that Valentine's was beheaded, right? It says we read earlier that women were running down the street getting whipped, and that was supposed to help them get pregnant, right? The curses that our oppressors have been going through, it's the same curses that God doesn't like them. He made sure that they don't have children at a high rate like the children of Israel, right? Damn near every sister that you can think of, they just be like we under our oppression, we be producing children, right? We just be getting stronger, just like when we were in Egypt. We're going through oppression and we're getting stronger. While our oppressors, they're not having babies, right? Their nation's not getting stronger. Like there's that saying, real niggas don't die, we multiply. So we're gonna read some more, and then we're gonna go into our other. What do we want next? Right. So again, this has nothing to do with love. So we're gonna go into another article. Let me just get it. Let me start the screen share for a second. Bear with me one moment. Right. Again, this day has nothing. Officer Shariwan, are you holding something for me?
Kanak, I'm in Galatians chapter 5.
Okay, so read Galatians chapter 5 for me, Baba Kashar.
Come. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty with Christ has made us free. And be
Salakia, one second. Bring me to Galatians 5 and 21.
20. Come. It's Galatians 5 and verse 21. Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Right? So, Salakia, one second. So as we seen, like they were just murdering, like so they were murdering. Like they're saying Saint Valentine got his head cut off. They were just having orgies and doing the most, right? They were having orgies and saying this is for fertility, right? All that reveling, right? Read that one more time.
Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like.
Right. So they were getting drunk from having orgies, right? They were getting drunk and showing their nakedness and reveling, right? And reveling is like that's basically like partying. Like they were partying. They were having the orgies. Like that they were just doing everything that the Most High does not like. And again, this has nothing to do with our people, right? We have our own feast days, right? Again, all you have to do is you just have to open your Bible. What your pastor doesn't do, right? Do exactly what your sister won't do for you. Open that Bible. Like it's this simple. See the Bible's closed. Just open it. Just that's all you got to do. Open it. Find a
Right.
chapter and read it. Right. And when you don't understand what you're reading, contact someone in the ISUPK. That's all you have to do. Right. So where are we gonna go? I'm gonna need that screen share again. Hold up. 1 second. Oh no, that's not it. Where's it at? Salakia, give me a second. I'm just trying to get to something right quick. Right? So we have something like how Valentine's Day is ruining relationships, right? So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna read this for a second. Give me a second. Actually, I don't need the screenshot for this, but I'm gonna go in and read this for a quick second, and we're gonna go into how Valentine's Day is. It's basically it's ruining relationships, right? To everyone watching, like, share, and subscribe. The water for watching, right? Like, share, and subscribe. Right? It's time for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to put away these vain holidays, these so-called holidays that are full of idol worship. And it's time for us to gather together. Zephaniah 1 and 2. We're a nation not desired. It's time for us to gather together, right? So let's put away Valentine's Day and just love each other 365 days of the year, right? We don't need to wait for Valentine's Day to love each other, right? So Valentine's Day is the holiday of love, a day to celebrate your significant other. But for some, it is not all roses and chocolates. Multiple studies, including one tracking Facebook breakup statuses, have shown that couples are more likely to break up in the weeks before and after Valentine's Day, right? So why does a holiday meant to celebrate relationship result in more breakups, right? Sisters, Valentine's Day has nothing to do with you, and you celebrate Valentine's Day, you're just gonna end up breaking up with the person you're with, right? Officer Shah, can you get me Genesis 24 and 67? Bubba Shah.
Kind of. This is the book of Genesis, 24 and verse 67. And Isaac brought into his mother Sarah's tent. Salakia. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he
Wait,
loved
wait,
her.
wait, 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 wait. He took Rebecca. Salakia, like what did he take from Rebecca? How did he take Rebecca? Like I'm confused. What does that mean? Break that down for me,
It's simple, sir. He
Yeah.
slept with her. He took her in that tent.
Okay.
He loved her.
Okay, you passed your officer test. So I figured you knew, right? So I had to ask, right? So he slept with Rebecca, right? So read that one more time.
Come. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
Right? Doesn't this sound so familiar? Doesn't this sound like the things we did in high school? We brought a girl to our house during lunch break and we made her our wife,
Right.
right? So he took Rebecca, right? Wait 1 second. Let's read that one more time. I just figured it out. I understand what it says now.
Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent
Right? To his mother's house.
and took Rebekah,
And he took Rebecca.
and she became his wife.
She said, I do.
She became his wife.
She said, until death do us part.
She became his wife.
And the pastor said, you may now kiss the bride.
She became his wife.
Right? Did you see how none of that stuff that I said happened in this verse? Right? So your pastor's been lying to you. Like the man that you sleep with, the sister that you sleep with is your wife. Sex is marriage. It just said it right there. Right? We're gonna read this at a university level. Right? And I'll break it down to you slowly so you understand. Isaac took Rebecca to his mother's tent and he slept with Rebecca, and now she's his wife, right? Sex is marriage. Sisters, you sleep with that man January 1st, not January 1st, February 15th, February 16th, that's your husband. February 14th, that's your husband. Like you slept with him on the 14th, that is your husband. Brothers, you sleep with that sister, you got to take care of her now. You got to mind her. You got to protect her. You got to guide her and give her leadership. Right? That's your wife. You can't just sleep with a sister and throw her away. Right? Read.
And he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Right? So that love that she gave him, that bond, that time that they became one flesh, that comforted Isaac, and he loved his wife Rebecca, right? He took her, right? We figured it out. He took her, and he loved his wife Rebecca. Trooper Sakai, get me Amos 5:21.
God, not a long con.
Right. So again, these days have nothing to do with the Most High. So we're gonna keep reading, right? Valentine's Day is a holiday of love to celebrate your significant other. But it's not all roses and chocolates. Multiple studies, including one tracking Facebook breakup status, have shown that couples are more likely to break up in the weeks before and after Valentine's Day. So why does a holiday meant to celebrate relationships result in more breakups? Right? Research points to a few reasons. All right, so this is gonna be good. We gonna hurt some feelings right now, right? Expectations, right? Expectations. That's one of the things that cause breakups, right? Trooper Sakai, what is an expectation on Valentine's Day?
I would say an expectation on Valentine's Day is a box of chocolates and a bouquet of roses and maybe a teddy bear.
Damn, a teddy bear too? Like,
And not a small one, sir. Not a small teddy bear. The big ones. You know.
$1 for a teddy bear is no good.
No,
You
it's
can't.
not.
That's gonna cause a fight, right? All
No,
right. So
it
we
will.
understand. No expectation is no Dollarama teddy bear. The
No.
sisters don't want that Dollarama teddy bear, right? They don't want that Dominion flowers. They don't want flowers from Metro, right? For those watching, y'all know what Metro is. That's the grocery store. They don't want the grocery store flowers. They want it from FTC, right? The flower people. Or is it T? I think it's TFP, the flower people, or something like that, right? But let's read about these expectations. So we were told flowers, chocolate, big teddy bears, not from Dollarama. Those are expectations on Valentine's Day. For many, Valentine's Day comes with a host of expectations, including gifts, special dinners, and romantic locales, right? So they want gifts, a special dinner, right? How much is the average date night at a fly restaurant, at a decent restaurant? Barbara Shaw, anybody can answer.
Salakia, sir. Uh, if the officer would like to go, that's fine.
Come on, Tika, you got it. You spoke first.
Um, it can run you anywhere depending on the restaurant and the quality of the food. You know, you can spend like a bill 50 to 250 for two people,
A bill 50 for 250 for two people.
and
Officer
that's
Shaw, that sound about right?
Salakia.
That sounds about
I ain't
right.
got that much money.
if Salakia, sir.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people that are expecting that.
Yes, Salakia. I was just about to say, if it's an expectation on Valentine's Day, that is definitely what you're gonna have to be putting out.
Right? And if you
Right.
like there's also the hotel fee. Let's not forget there's a hotel fee. Because not everybody lives in a house where they could go get married just like that. Right? So some sisters, they want that hotel, they want that Airbnb, right? Because you don't live at your own space. Or here's the other thing: you already live with your wife and you have a second wife, and your other wife wants to go out, right? So now you got to Valentine's Day and you got to spend that extra $100 for the night. So that 250 plus the extra 100, that's $50 a night just for some skins, just for that sliding, just to sleep with your wife, right? You already been doing it all year long, but now she wants you to spend that extra bread, right? If you don't spend that bread now you don't love her, right? So Trooper Sakai, get me Amos 5:21.
Go on, sir. I have it right here.
Okay, use that, Bubba Kashad.
I just lost the page. Salakia. Amos. This is the book of Amos 5:21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Right? So the Most High hates Valentine's Day. It has nothing to do with our people. He hates that day, right? Salakia, we're gonna go back into it. Somebody hold Ecclesiasticus 33:7. Someone else hold Daniel 7:25. Right, we're gonna go more into this article. So expectations, right? Yet setting expectations so high can set us up for disappointment, right? So you're expecting that brother to do the most for you, and you just watched a movie and they showed you the most fake love that you could think of, and you're expecting that brother to come home and do that exact same thing that you've seen in the movie. You want that thing from the movie, right? And you're not going to get that thing from the movie. So now when you don't get that thing from the movie that you think, you're angry, right? So that will set you up for disappointment, right? Now
Salakia,
let's
sir.
jump
What's the verse in chapter in Daniel again? 7 and
down. 7:25,
okay. Um,
right?
answer.
So now that you didn't get that thing from the movie, you're angry, right? What do Salakia? Let's see if anybody can get this. What do I'm trying to word this right. Okay, so Trooper Sakat, sisters do this a lot, right? Where they go and they'll go get their hair done, and what do they do usually with their boyfriends, right? They talk about this thing with their boyfriend. You know what? Forget. I'll just give it to you, right? So sisters, They do comparisons, right? They I was trying to word that the right way, but I don't think it was going to come out the right way, so I'm just going to give it to you. They do comparisons, right? So Johnny got Megan a dozen roses, right? And
Yeah.
Nigel, he got Susan a dozen roses and a day at the spa, right? So Susan goes and tells Megan her what she got, and Megan goes and tells Susan what they got. They do that comparison, and it just doesn't work out. Now, the one who only got the roses, Johnny, when he gets home, is going to be an issue, right? It's going to be a problem because you didn't do what Nigel did, right? And that happens. So now you're forced to you're basically competing with her friend's boyfriend, her friend's husband. That's who you're competing with, right? And these sisters are going to compare what happened, and let's see what it says about comparisons, right? Valentine's Day plans like dinners, concerts, or events are usually more public, talked about in conversation, and even shared on social media. Seeing and hearing about others, sometimes embellished or idealized accounts of their celebrations, make it difficult to avoid comparing them on their own. These comparisons can lead to dissatisfaction about our own way of celebrating, even if it was perfectly enjoyable and satisfying in the moment, right? So comparing what you and your rib did, or you and your husband did for the sisters, comparing that with another sister and her husband, that's just going to make you disappointed, even though what you did with your husband, you felt like that was the best moment. But when that other sister tells you about what they did, now you're angry, right? Trooper Sakai, read that verse when you got it.
The book of Daniel.
Right.
It's the book of Daniel 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
Right. So they basically made it legal. They made it law that you have to celebrate these feast days, these so-called feast days that have nothing to do with the Most High. They made it law. Like if you don't celebrate them, then you end up fighting with your spouse over nothing, right? Because now your spouse believes that you don't love them. So you end up fighting with your spouse over nothing, like over Valentine's Day. Like she wants to know that you love her, and they made it so if you don't celebrate these days now, that now you're a monster in your own house because you don't celebrate these days, or you don't do it perfectly. They changed these days to law, right? As you go outside this month, you are bombarded with pink and purple. And now there's nothing wrong with purple, right? But you are bombarded with pink and purple, right? So you're fighting a spiritual war right now, right? And they're attacking your spirit, right? Salakia, Officer Shariwan, you got that Ecclesiasticus. Officer Shaywan, you there? You hear me properly? Salaki, I think you're lagging or you're on mute. All right, Trooper Sakai, get me Ecclesiasticus 33 and 7.
Gone, other one, gone.
True Officer Sharyuan, you might have to jump out and jump back in. The oppressor's the devil, man. He be jamming up the airways. He don't want this truth to come out. He wants our peoples to celebrate Valentine's Day.
I have the verse, sir.
Come on, drop it when you got it.
Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
Right? So every day you wake up and you go outside, the sun is shining. It's not light outside unless it's because of the sun. Right? Read.
Continue or read again.
Yeah, no, continue reading.
By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. That was verse 8. This is verse 9.
No, you can stop. You can stop right there for a second, right? So the Lord who gave Yahushai and the angels the power to create the sun, the moon, the heavens, the earth, us, and everything that we see today, he's the one he's the one that distinguished the days. And he never said Valentine is a day to celebrate. He never told you that you got to celebrate Valentine's Day, right? Read verse 9.
Some of them hath he made high holy days. Slakia. Some of them hath he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them hath he made ordinary days.
Right? So you could drop that. So the Lord made high days and he made ordinary days, right? Ordinary days is February 14th. Right? That's an ordinary day, right? A high day. Let's figure out 1 second. Let's go into it for a quick second. Let's figure out one of these high days, right? A high day is the Sabbath. That's a high holy day, right? Everybody was supposed to be in the Sabbath class, and watch the Sabbath class today. You were supposed to watch that and celebrate the Sabbath and learn about the Sabbath. That's a high day, right? Another high day, a high holy day, was the Passover, right? That's the 14th and 15th day of the first month. This year's Passover is going to be when is this year's Passover going to be? I believe it's going to be April 24th at the BH Ranch in Texas, right? We're going to be throwing up at the BH Ranch in Texas, right? So we're going to read some more of this article so we can get it in. What do we want next? Bring me, Trooper Sakad, bring me to Jeremiah 2 and 11.
Go on, sir.
Right? So hold Jeremiah 2 and 11. Right? So next, and we have a list of things that are ruining relationships because of Valentine's Day. So we're going to go through it. Right? So this one right here is magnification. Right? For relationships that may already be shaky. Right? So you got a shaky relationship because you're not going to the I.S.U.P.K for counseling. Right? You don't know how to love your wife, and your wife doesn't know how to be a wife because you're not in the truth, and you're smoking weed, and you're doing drugs, and you're lying to your woman, right? Don't be a coward. If you have another wife, tell your wife you have another wife. She's either gonna stay or stick around, all right? You want to learn how to be a husband to your wife? Get in the school. The school is the only place that's gonna teach you how to love your wife. Right? Just because you slept with her, right? Now you want to throw her away. You don't want her when she's old and gray, right? In this school, we're gonna be with our wives when they're old and gray, right? That's when they're gonna be beautiful as well. They're beautiful now. They'll be beautiful then, right? That's what we want. That's what we are in it. That's what we do in this school, right? So Let's continue reading. Valentine's Day might highlight and even exuberate existing issues, right? So she's already mad that she thinks you don't pay attention. Now she thinks that, oh, tomorrow's Sunday, February 14th. I'm going to wake up in the morning and there's supposed to be flowers everywhere, right? And if there aren't flowers everywhere, you're not paying attention. And now it's even more magnified because that's the one day out of the whole year that you're supposed to pay the most attention to it. Salakia, can you mute your mic for a second, Baba Kishar? Until I need you to read the water, right? So that's the one day you're supposed to pay attention to, and you didn't pay attention to her, so that magnified the situation that you guys were on, right? Sometimes the expectations of not just a perfect night, but also a perfect relationship may make many problems seem worse than they are, causing increased dissatisfaction, right? Or the pressure may just intensify negative feelings in an already dysfunctional relationship, right? So those things will come up, and that has nothing to do with that relationship, right? Well, Salake, not that it has nothing to do with that relationship. Those feelings come up, and you're already on shaky ground. There's already issues that you guys are having, and again, you're not going to the men in the I.S.U.P.K for wedding counsel. We have excellent wedding counsel and marriage counsel in the I.S.U.P.K. We have excellent counsel in general in the I.S.U.P.K. Right? Like if you find yourself doing wrong or you're just going off, you got to contact someone in the I.S.U.P.K immediately, right? Immediately. You got to contact someone in the I.S.U.P.K because that's the way to correct something that's going wrong, right? So again, those are the things that cause. Let's see if we can get some more. What's the next one? Is there a next one? Yeah, that's about it for now. Okay, what else do we want, right? So when it comes to loving your woman, like you getting her a box of flowers is not going to show her that you love her, right? And again, these nations, they switch up their gods like every 10 seconds. Trooper Sakai, you could bring in that verse for me, Baba Kusha. That was Jeremiah 2:11.
Gone, sir. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods. But my people have changed their glory for that which doth do not profit.
Read that one more time, Baba Kusha.
Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Right? So all these nations, they be changing up their gods and switching up their gods like they switch up Nikes, right? They be switching up their gods like they switch up Jordans and t-shirts and boxers. And these gods ain't nothing. Like they don't like go like obviously I'm not telling you to go pray to no river god. But if you think a river god is gonna do something for you, go find out, right? You're just gonna be taken away, right? Go stand up in the river and go call on that river god. You're gonna be taken away down that river. You're gonna die because that river god is just death. There's nothing in that river for you, right? No one's St. Lawrence talking about river god. No one's jumping in the Hudson. In fact, the Hudson River in New York is so nasty. If you jump in it, you're gonna get two heads, right? You're gonna come out with two heads and some right and some web between your fingers. Like that's how nasty. That's a chemical reaction. Salaki, it looks like I'm breaking up for a second. I have to jump back in for a second. Probably. Let's see. Salakia, troopers. Can you read again? Trooper Sakar.
Salaki, what verse?
Officer Shayuan. We're at Jeremiah 2 and 11.
Salaki, what chapter?
Jeremiah 2, verse 11.
Khan.
Trooper Sakar's back. Trooper Sakar, read that verse, finish that verse, Baba Kasha.
But my people have changed their glory for that which do not profit.
Right? So worshiping a river god, worshiping the Luperces and Lupercalia, it doesn't profit you nothing. You're not going to win. You're not going to do anything with it. It's not going to do nothing for you. Right? Salakia, let's see how much time we have. Officer Shayuan, get me Colossians 2 and 8. Right. Trooper Sakai, get me Romans 3 and 3, Baba Kasha.
Gone, sir.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
All right. So read that one more time from the top for me.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. So you got to be on the lookout that you're not spoiled by philosophy and vain deceit. Meaning, right, that the philosophy of buy your wife flowers on February 14th is gonna spoil you. Right? Like you don't wanna be spoiled by these, because it's gonna make you turn your heart away from the Most High. Right? It's gonna make you turn your heart away from the Most High, and you're not gonna keep His laws. Right? You're gonna start worshiping dogs and other gods that have nothing to do with us. Right? The men who worship these gods are pedophiles. They're monsters to their people. Right? Read.
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh.
Right? So after the traditions of men, you're gonna be spoiled. You're gonna go like Trooper Sakad. What is a tradition of man?
Salaki, a tradition of man would be any holiday that they have right now, like that people celebrate. That would be a tradition.
That's definitely true. But bring me home.
Oh, I'd say Valentine's Day would be one of those traditions.
Right? That is a tradition of man. That's what we're talking about today. Like Valentine's Day, right? Like you don't like our people want to go after the traditions of man, Valentine's Day, instead of a tradition of Yahushua. Right? Now that we found the tradition of man, Trooper Sakad, what's the tradition of Yahushua? Like what was the tradition Yahushua did?
The Passover, sir.
Right? Yahushua kept the Passover. He kept dedications, right? Where we remember what the Maccabees did. Right? We remember how the Maccabees were murdered because they wouldn't eat disgusting, nasty pork. Right? They wouldn't eat a vacuum cleaner of the earth. So we remember what the Maccabees did for the Feast of Hanukkah. Right? Christ did as well. He was in the temple during dedications. right? Trooper, Officer Shariwan, are you holding something for me?
Allah.
Uh,
I was
uh,
reading Colossians 2 and
okay,
8.
you're reading Colossians. Trooper Sakat, are you holding something for me?
Gone, sir. This is the book of Romans 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
Right? So I know you're gonna be watching this tape, right? And you're gonna be like, what are these crazy Negroes talking about? Not to celebrate Valentine's Day. Are you mud? Do you want me to be sleeping on the couch? You must not want me to get some tonight, right? I know you don't believe what we're talking about, but that doesn't stop this truth from coming out. That's not gonna stop, like, that's not gonna make this truth a lie. Like,
Right.
the truth is, like, F Valentine's Day. It has nothing to do with us. God hates Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day has kept us in oppression, right? So, so Trooper Sakai, you said that the average date can cost anywhere between 100 to 250, right?
Gone, sir.
Right. That's an average date. That's not even the most expensive date, and that's definitely true, right? Because that average date, you probably didn't even buy a bottle of champagne. You just got some drinks off the menu, right? Now let's factor in that extra $150 for the hotel, right? Because it's Valentine's Day, you know it's gonna go down. It's Valentine's Day. It's about lust and sleeping with the next man's wife. That's what Valentine's Day is about. It's about sleeping with a sister that you know has a husband, or sleeping with a sister that doesn't have a husband, and then you don't call her back, right? So that's 350. If everybody kept that 350, right? That's money that could be used to help your people. That's money. Like if 10 brothers don't spend 350, they could start a small business. Right? It really doesn't cost much to start a small business. They could take that 350 and they can give $20 to the school and use the rest of it, and they put it with their friends. Right? Like if a whole community of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't spend that 350, that 400, then they could put it to something that's going to benefit their community, right? But because we're not gathered together, like we're not doing that at the moment, right? That some of that 350 should be coming directly to the school. The school gave away 80,000 plus last year, right? So we're gonna go into how you should love your wife, right? And Officer Shaywan, what is love according to the Bible? Officer Shaywan, you there? Salakia, I couldn't hear you. I think they're trying to jam you up again, right? I'm gonna let the trooper answer for a second.
Love according to the Bible
Okay, I got you.
is to walk in the commandments, to keep the commandments.
Right. So love according to the Bible. Officer Shaywan will be right back. Love according to the Bible is to walk in the commandments. Right. You gotta walk in the commandments. You gotta love God. You gotta do what he says, right? You gotta protect your wife and not throw her away. Right? That's a commandment. Like you can't divorce. Right? Moses was only off saying it's okay to divorce because Israel is so hard headed, so hardy in their ways, right? So Moses didn't want to deal with that stress. So he said, you know what, you want to leave her, right? Christ said there's no divorce. So we're going to find a perfect example of love, right? And now, Let me find out that some of my brothers and sisters are only waiting a day with them meeting each other at the club, getting drunk off some good strong drink, and they're only waiting a day to make that person their wife, right? They're only waiting a day. Can you imagine? You see a girl outside, you see her in a tight little dress, she's gyrating her body to some music, you're smoking weed in the club, you're drinking, and you decide, hey, I got an Airbnb, can I make you my wife for the night? Right? And that happens in a space of 3 hours, right? Let's find out how long our forefather waited to get the wife that he wanted, right? So, Trooper Sakar, bring me to Genesis 8 and 1. Nah, Salakia, Genesis 28 and 1, Baba Kasha.
Con, sir. Genesis 28 and 1?
Yeah, Genesis 28 and 1. That's where we going, right there.
This is the book
Right,
of
we gonna
Genesis
talk about
28
our
and 1.
forefather.
And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Right? So Isaac, our forefather, right? This is the son of Abraham, right? He had a son named Jacob, right? And he blessed him and he charged him. What does it mean to charge him? Trooper Sakai.
It basically means to, like tell him something, or like order him to do something, I would say. If I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
That's basically it. Like when he charged him to do something, he told him like you gotta do this. Right? So he charged him, Salakia, not to take a daughter from Canaan, right? So who were the daughters of Canaan?
Slakia, sir, they were the Canaanites, which would be the descendants of Ham.
Right? But take me home, take me home. You gotta like we just gotta make it clear for the people. We understand.
Oh, they're Africans, Slakia.
One more time, Ak.
They were Africans.
So they were filthy, stinking Africans, right? The land of fleas. Earlier we broke down they were the first homosexuals, right? Let's not forget that. So when those blackety backs say Egypt, DNA, let's not forget, Africans were the first homosexuals. Let's not forget that. Sodom and Gomorrah, right? We won't forget that. The Philistines, right? So read verse 2.
Slakia, verse 2. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
Right, so that's what he was charged with, right? Going to his mother's brother family and finding a daughter of his people, right? So he was charged with finding a rib from his own people. Salakia, Officer Shariwan, can you get, let me find it right quick. Officer Shariwan, get me Ephesians 5 and 25. Hold that in the clip for me. We're going to fire that off just now. Right? So you read verse 2. Let's go to the next chapter. Salakia, flip over to the next chapter to 29. Right? So we're going to flip over to the next chapter to 29. Right? So he was charged. The father charged the son with, yo, you better go get one of our daughters, eh? Don't go bring no stinking heathen into my house, right? And this is what Isaac told Jacob as Isaac got older, and he's like, okay, you want a wife now? You better not go get no stinking platelet, right? Don't get the thing that puts the coil around its neck to stretch its neck. Don't get the thing that eats the monkey meat out the bush, right? And she got sliced in her face, and that was supposed to be for her tribe. Do not get that thing. We don't want that thing in our family, right? Don't pollute the bloodline like that. That's what Isaac told Jacob, right? So we gonna go down some more. Pause, and we gonna figure it out. All right, so basically, for time's sake, Isaac went eastward to go to his family. No, Jacob went eastward to go find his family, and he walked up onto a well, and he seen some people that were his people, and he said, "Hey, I'm so and so, and do you know Laban?" Right? Like I'm family to Laban. Do you know Laban? And they said, "Yeah, we know Laban." He said, "Is he blessed?" And they said, "Yeah, Laban is alive and well." Right? There's his daughter. So we're gonna get into that. So we're at 29. Read 29 and 10.
Go on, sir. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother.
Read.
Khan. Salakia, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, con officer Shaywan. I can hear you. You already know. Whenever you be lagging out, just jump out quick, jump back in. I wanted you to get me Salaki. I believe I asked for Ephesians 5 and 25. I'm gonna get Trooper Sakat to finish up these verses on Jacob, and then I'm gonna get that verse for you. So if you can still hear me, if you can't, just jump in and jump back out. Don't worry, I got you. So no sweat. Redoc.
Verse 11. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept.
Right.
And Jacob.
So you gotta think about it. Rachel was bad. That was a bad sister. His father told him, "Yo, go Vanessa and go look for your mother's brother and go make one of his daughters your wife." Right? He got there. He got to the well now, and he seen a sister, a bad sister, and he found out, oh, this is my brother's daughter's. She could be my rib. He embraced her, gave her a hug, and he basically shouted and sang out, and he wept, right? Because this sister was bad. And you got to think about it. He's of the marital age now, so now he's finally meeting the other side of his family, right? So that's a lot of emotion. Plus, this sister was a bad sister, right? You, man. There's an old saying like, Sakai, I don't know if you heard this. You ever seen a sister that looks so good you shed a tear when you see her? You ever heard of that before? Right. So basically that's what happened. He seen that sister and he wept. Right. So read.
This verse 12. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
Read.
Verse 13. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him into his house. And he told Laban all these things.
Right. So he met his uncle, and he seen his and he was about to marry his cousin, and he's basically the things of his, and he's basically telling him like, yo, I came to marry your daughter, one of your daughters, Wagwan, like, what's up, right? I'm family. You already know we can't be marrying these Canaanites around, like, what's up? So that's what's happening. Read 14.
Verse 14. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
All right, jump down to 16.
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel.
Wait. One second. Go back up to 15 for a second.
Verse 15. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
Right? So Jacob was basically, he was helping Laban out doing some stuff, and he basically said like, yo, Laban said, wait, you're just doing this for just to do it? Like, what's up? Like, what do I have to give you? Right? So jump down to 16, read the first of 16.
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the
Right?
elder
So
was
he had
Leah.
2 daughters. He had 2 daughters, Rachel and Leah. Jacob wanted Rachel. Right? We gonna keep going. Right? Go to
Leah
17.
was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
Right? So you gotta know what that means, right? So Leah was tender eyed. You gotta look at her softly, right? She look alright, she alright, but she ain't Rachel, right? Like you know how that goes. Like sometimes you go out and like you can't have 2 sisters, right? But you might meet the first sister and be like, yo, this sister is bad. Like I got one, right? Like, yeah, I got one.
Right.
Then you get to the family dinner and you see the other sister, and it's like, damn, I should have waited an hour.
Right?
Right? Slovakia. But basically that's what that's explaining. Like one sister looked good, but the other one looked better. Right? The other one, he just liked the other one more. That's all it is. It's nothing. It's not really that deep. He just liked the other one more. Right?
Mhm.
And 1 second. Read 18.
Verse 18. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
Wait. He's gonna wait for one night that he sees her after the club.
He said, serve thee 7 years for Rachel.
He said he will pay for a bottle of Hennessy. They gonna drink it and smoke a blunt one night after the club.
Serve thee 7 years for Rachel.
Right? So Jacob was on real nigga time. He said, I'm gonna serve 7 years just to get this one rib. 7 years, right? So fast forward through the story. He served that 7 years. Jump down to 20.
Verse 20. And Jacob, wait, I just read. Okay, Salakia. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her.
Right? So he loved this sister so much that he served 7 years servitude to the father, helping the father out just to get this one sister. Right? And that's how much he loved her. Like Valentine's Day is not about love, right? Valentine's Day has nothing to do with love. Right? That's why he served that time. That's why he served that 7 years, right? Now, imagine telling a brother in the hood, yo, you see that sister over there? You like her? Yo, you can get her, but you gotta go work for her father for 7 years. How many brothers in the hood do you think would do that? Trooper Sakat.
Shit, depends how much he loved that sister, Salakia.
Salakia, the answer is unless he's in a UPK, he's not serving a day, let alone 2 hours,
That
right?
is true. That is true.
Let's. So he served the 7 years. Read 21.
Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
Read.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it
Read.
came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
Read.
And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid.
Right. So Laban did some unbrotherly thing because the agreement was Rachel, right? And Laban basically said, I'm not gonna follow this brotherhood out, and I need to get Leah out of my house right now. Anyway, so like, yo, you gonna take this one, right? So now let's find out what, right? So read 23 again.
Verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
Right? So we get that word again, took. Trooper Sakad. What is took? How did he take Leah? What did he take from Leah?
Salakia, sir. He took her and he laid with her, sir. He slept with
Right.
her.
So he went in onto her, and now he took Leah, right? So read 25.
And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah, and he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
Right? So he tricked him, right? He basically tricked him, and he said, like, yo, one second, hold up. My G, I like, I served 7 years for Rachel. Make me go sleep with Leah. Right? So what we just read was when he went on to, it didn't matter that they had a ceremony for Rachel. So, like, I'm gonna break this down for Christians, right? Filthy, stinking Christians don't understand this Bible, and I don't blame you. I blame your pastor, right? So your pastor is the reason why you think that marriage is doomed. So, for a Christian to understand this, he said I do with Rachel, even though it doesn't say he said I do, because he never said I do. Had a dinner, had a little party, danced, drank, got drunk in a little off that good wine, right? And he went into his tent and he seen a sister with some shit that has to be Rachel, right? And he went in on to he had the ceremony for Rachel. Now Leah's his wife, right? 1 second. Now we're gonna keep going. Okay, right? Read 25 one more time. Trooper is caught. Salakia.
Oh, Salakia, sir. Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the
Salakia. I'm
morning
not lagging.
yeah, a bit, sir. But like I can hear you perfectly fine.
A bit.
Your video may be lagging, but I can hear you perfectly fine.
It's just the video is lagging. Okay. All right. It looks like, yeah. It looks like I'm back on point for a second. You know our oppressor is the devil. The Bible speaks of. He be jamming up the airways. I be telling these sisters that sex is marriage. He wants these sisters to be whores and continue to run through 10 men in your life, right? After they made that blood oath. Your cherry only popped one time. You're only supposed to have one man,
Right.
right? So, what are we going to go to now? Read 25 one more time.
Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
Read.
Verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill
Right.
her week.
So basically, he said, like, yo, in our country, the firstborn has to get married before the younger. Like we might have agreed on Rachel, but I gave you Leah. So now what's your wife? You got read.
Verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Verse 27. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service, which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. Verse
Right.
28. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also.
Right. So to get Jacob served Slovakia. Hold up. Trooper Sakai, can you hear me?
Con, sir, yes.
Okay. So Slovakia, lagging, going through low technical difficulties. They be doing the most because we be bringing out the truth, right? They can't beat God. Their arms are too small to box with him, right? So Jacob basically served 14 years to get Rachel. He served 7 and didn't get the bride that he wanted. Then he served another 7 and got Rachel finally. Right? Hold up 1 second. We're gonna drop these sign out links. You're watching the class and you want to be a trooper in the school, sign in, sign out. You want to be a sister in the school, hit these sign in and sign out links. Right? Again, Valentine's Day has nothing to do with our people. It is not. Let me just get these sign out links. Trooper Sakai. Hold up 1 second. Let me get these sign out links one more time. Trooper Sakai, get me Songs of Solomon 4 and 11. Babu Kasha.
Con, sir. Songs of Solomon, what, sir? Say that again. Slovakia.
Songs of Solomon 4 and 11. And
4 and 11.
brothers and sisters, I can't walk him. Like realistically, like I know, like you know, you're not gonna have a good marriage until you find someone that's in the ISUPK. Right? You and your wife, if you already have, y'all both get in the school. Hispanics and Native Americans both get in the school. Right? That's gonna teach each other for real. Right? That's when you're gonna learn that you can't divorce each other. She's gonna get mad at you and blow up your car. Burn off her edges, right? Burn off her eyebrows, and you still gonna have to marry her. Still gonna have to keep her. That's still gonna be your wife, right? She's gonna gorilla glue, like they be doing that gorilla glue right now, man. She's gonna gorilla glue her hair together. Like, she's gonna put it together right quick with that gorilla and go get that surgery, and you're her, and you're only gonna learn that at ISUPK. If that's not true love, right? Like that's the only true love. Like we're not even gonna say if that's not. That's the only true love, right? She's gonna gorilla glue her hair, right? And you still gonna have to stick with her. You can't just throw her away, right? Uh, Officer, uh, welcome back, Officer Shaywan. Songs of Solomon 4 and 11. Scott, get that song 4 and 11.
Khan, sir, this is Song of Solomon 4 verse 11. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon.
Woo, those are bars. Yo, I drop that one more time. Solomon was spitting right there. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. That was bars right there. If y'all was listening, what I was listening to, those were bars, right? Solomon, be kind to your wife. You tell her, drop that one more time. Listen to the bars Solomon hit this sister with.
Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon.
Shit. Wait. Hold up. He said the lips be like honeycombs. Honey and milk be under the tongue. Like, oh, dropping bars. You gotta be kind to your. You gotta hear things, right? Don't be tell your wife nice things. Don't wait till 14 to tell your wife she's beautiful, right? That's your rib. Cherish her. Like women like to hear nice things, right? 1 second. You gotta definitely say nice things to your rib. Let's see more ways that you're supposed to love your wife, right? Let's find some more. 1 second. You got to be kind to your wife. Trooper Sakai, get me Proverbs 16 and 24.
Khan, sir. This is Proverbs 16 and 24. Pleasant words are as in honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones.
Right? So you want to add health to your ribs, bones. You want to say some stuff that are sweet to her soul. Give her kind words, right? When she goes and takes care of your child that you know is not the easiest thing to do for a sister, all that stress. When she is at home dealing with those children, even though you're both home dealing with those children, when she's home dealing with those children, you want to say kind things to her. You want to tell her that you love her and she's still beautiful, right? You want to tell her that you appreciate the things she did to her, right? Say sweet things to her to make her feel loved. That's how you love your wife. Salakia Akim, I'm getting a feedback. Can I get the mics on mute for a second? Right. You wanna say kind things to your wife, so you replenish that love, right? And not just kind things is how you show love. Uh, Trooper Sakat, get to 10.
Salakia, sir.
Right, that's gonna
What
be
was
the
that?
last one.
Salakia,
Exodus
sir. What?
10, 21 and 10.
Gone.
Right, so it's not just about saying kind things to your wife. You want to replenish the relationship, right? And the way you recharge your relationship and replenish your relationship, if every officer in the school of UPK, every trooper, right, knows about this. You got to tear fire when you see your rib, tear fire. That's how you replenish the relationship between you and, right. Salakia, I can see myself just freezing up. Trooper Sakar, whenever you have that, drop it. That's gonna be the last precept for the night. Then we're gonna
Exodus.
out, and I'm gonna drop one more Passover commercial.
This is the book of Exodus 21,
Yeah,
verse
read
10.
that.
If he take him another wife, her food, her remnant, her and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Right. That that's literally talking about sex, right? You take another wife, you still got to give your first wife love, right? And that keeps your marriage strong. Like that doesn't change for her. Because you got another wife because your first wife blew your car up and she gorilla glued her hair together. Like you still got to give her love. You still got to give her sex, right? And that's the duty of your marriage. Salakia, right? So again, with that said, I'm Officer 50s, the Baja of the I.S.U.P.K. With me, I got Officer Officer 50 Shari 1, Trooper Sakad, Trooper Urad. Again, we are the A is not true high, right? Quick, Salakia, let me salute out, and I'm gonna play a quick ISUPK 120 Fisher. Her sister comes into the school themselves of the world, but then the transfer has an interest in a particular person. He or she must get permission from the head to speak to his brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashara, which means tenth in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations. The next up and coming holy convocation is Purim. That's the 14th day of the 15th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, February 25th, Friday February 26th. You can find it in, this is 2021. You can find it in Esther verses 9 to 20. Also, don't forget Passover, April 24th, BH Ranch, 14149, Player Street. Get with your camp leader, right? Contact someone in the I.S.U.P.K. Go to find out who the camp leader for your zone is. Go on www.com, ISUPK.com to find the camp leader for your zone, right? Contact them. Get to Passover. You don't want to miss it. What's next? A reminder to Akim, again, check ISUPK.com. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, and pants, headband, and scarf. Right? With that said, men of Israel, I imagine. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakatah. Yad Yamatam, hands down. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Shemar. Alakah Ba'ashem Yahshua. Yad Yamatah, hands down. Men of Israel, class dismissed. I'm going to play a quick Passover commercial. Y'all could mute your cameras for a second if y'all want to stay for a second. But I'm going to play a quick Passover commercial. Hold up 1 second. Let me get it together. Hey, Salaki, if you're still watching, General Yohanna's is live right now. Commander General Yohanna. Make sure you go watch it. Salaki. With that said, class dismissed.